Yeah, I think I'm ready. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up to iTunes, my phone, and try and go through some of the frustrations I have. I have a lot of updating to do, and I want to back my iPhone up and my photos so that I can update to 6. So the first thing you got to do is plug in your phone. There's a little deal. You got to make sure this only can go in one way. So you plug that in. Then you got to put this into your port. Now, you hear that ding? That means iTunes is coming up. My frustrations now begin. And sometimes I have to ask Judy to help me because every time I do this, I get a little confused. And I'm still, see, this just kind of tells you, to me, it ought to just pop up right away. My phone just clicked. Okay, iTunes has come up, and now here comes Picasa, and that's where I store my pictures. So I'm going to do an import. So I go up here in the upper left-hand corner and select Import. Now it should go ahead and take everything that hasn't already been copied onto my computer. So it has to go through and prepare everything. So now what I'm going to do is, rather than bore you with watching this bring it up, I'm going to cut periodically and bring you back into this process and tell you my frustrations all along. Now a lot of times I'll tell you in advance that this part doesn't work, and I end up having to do it again through the Picasa itself. But let's see what happens this time. I wanted to note too that you'll notice too in the Picasa, the ones that'll have a little X, there's a little X, there's a little X there, little X, little X. That means I've already backed those up to my Picasa. So as it works, it'll make X's on all the ones that have already imported. And there I was in the process of doing that in Picasa. Picasa went off the screen. Now I'm back to iTunes. Now iTunes doing its thing, and it's copying my stuff on the computer, which now it says it's done with whatever it was doing. So now what I have to do is I'll come over here and I'll pick up Picasa off my desktop. And I'm going to import that again. Now you'll notice up here, it's given a countdown of everything it's copying. So when this number gets equal to the number to the right, in other words, I got 480 things on my phone that I'm trying to back up to Picasa. And we're at 67 of 480. And I'll bring you back as we get closer. Hi everybody, I'm back. That took about 35 minutes. Now I want to point out my son's speed is twice as fast as my speed at home. I'm unable to get over 1.5 currently with CenturyLink. But he has AT&T and he's at least 3 because he's twice as fast. And this is my grandson Xander. Xander, can you say hello to everybody?
Hello everybody.
Yeah, wave at him. Cool, thanks. Okay, so now that part's done. So now I need to import it to my computer, from my phone to my computer. I'll get this going and I'll bring you back in after this process is done. And you can see off to the right here, they're coming in pretty quick. It's going, this part goes fairly quick except for the movie. Okay, that process is done. So what we're going to do is close off Picasa 3, and now I'm back to iTunes. So now what I want to do is I'm going to update my application. So I'm going to select that. And it says updates available. So now you have to select that. It's going to access this, and this takes a amount of time too. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and let that update, and I'll bring you in later after that part's done. Okay, now here's another thing. All these warnings are very interesting because here's one that wants to verify my age, that I'm over 18 because of some of my applications. Well, I could be 12, and I'm not quite sure how they would know. So to me, it's kind of a silly question, but we'll go ahead and say okay and go on. Okay, this is all done. It only took about 4 hours and 10 minutes to complete the syncing, the backing up, and all the procedures for my phone. So now I'm ready to update the phone to iOS 6, which I'm going to do later on the phone itself. Now here's another thing I don't like about iTunes. I also have an iPad. Now when I back up the iPad, what happens, sometimes it takes things that I have on my phone, put it on my iPad, and sometimes it takes things from the iPad, puts it on the iPhone. Where I put it is where I want it. I don't want iTunes to automatically change things on their own. So those are some of my frustrations, and I'll let you know how the updating to iOS 6 goes.
Like this video.